Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to dig into the sources you've shared and pull out the core ideas. Today, it's all about the surprising power of really small changes. The sources call them atomic habits.
Yeah, atomic. And that name's important, isn't it? It's not about, huge earth-shattering shifts. It's the smallest possible unit, the basic building block of a bigger system.
So the question is, how do you leverage these tiny, almost invisible actions to create real, lasting change?
Exactly. And the author's own story, James Clear's story, it's kind of the perfect starting point.
Right. So picture him in high school, playing baseball, and then bam, he gets hit square in the face with a bat.
And it wasn't just a minor hit. We're talking a fractured skull, crushed nose, two shattered eye sockets. He was unconscious, ended up in a medically induced coma.
That sounds absolutely horrific. The recovery must have been intense.
Oh, incredibly tough. Weeks of double vision. And the physical therapy, it wasn't just getting back muscle. It was basic stuff, like literally practicing walking in a straight line again. Took months.
And even after all that, when he tried to get back into baseball a year later.
He got cut from the varsity team. A huge setback. But, that's where the shift happened.
Okay, so instead of one big comeback effort.
He realized he needed a system. Tiny changes. So in college, Denison University, he just focused on the fundamentals. Things like getting good sleep consistently, keeping his dorm room tidy, which apparently was a mess before.
Little things, steady habits too.
Yeah, improved his study habits, started getting straight A's. These weren't glamorous things, right?
Sure.
But they added up.
They compounded.
Exactly. He started college pretty light, like 170 pounds. Over the years, focusing on these small habits, he built himself up, got stronger, leaned 200 pounds.
And then 6 years after that devastating injury.
He actually achieved this huge goal he'd set. Top male athlete at his university, academic All-American. It just proved that potential isn't about huge leaps. It's about stringing together those small, intentional wins day after day.
So that's our mission today, right? To figure out the principles behind making those tiny habits actually work. And it starts with this idea of marginal gains.
Yes, which leads us straight to British cycling. For like 100 years, they were basically mediocre. No Tour de France wins for a Brit in all that time.
It's almost a century. Wow.
Then they hired Dave Brailsford in 2003. And he brings in this philosophy, the aggregation of marginal gains.
Okay, so what does that mean in practice?
It means looking for a tiny, 1% improvement in absolutely everything. And I mean everything.
Not just the bikes.
Oh, way beyond the bikes. Yes, they redesigned the seats for better comfort, but also rubbing alcohol on the tires for grip, hiring a surgeon to teach proper hand washing to avoid illness.
A surgeon for hand washing. Okay, that's detailed.
Totally. Making sure each athlete had the perfect pillow, the best mattress, and, this is the kicker, painting the inside of the team truck white.
Hold on. Painting the truck white. Why on earth?
So they could spot dust easier. They wanted to make absolutely sure that those finely tuned bikes weren't collecting any tiny bits of grime during transport that might affect performance.
That feels obsessive. But it's about reducing friction, even minuscule amount.
Precisely. And the cumulative effect of all these tiny 1% improvements, it was staggering.
The results definitely show it. Was it the 2008 Olympics?
Beijing. They won 60% of the gold medals available in cycling. And then Tour de France wins 5 times in 6 years for British cyclists. Absolute domination built on tiny tweaks.
It's incredible. And the math you mentioned, the 1% idea?
Right. It's kind of mind-blowing when you see it. Get just 1% better each day for a year. And you're not just a bit better, you're nearly 37 times better. The formula is 1.01 to the power of 365.
37 times.
But the flip side is just as stark. Get 1% worse each day, and you basically decline down towards zero. It shows how those small daily choices, better or worse, really diverge over time.
Okay, but here's the tricky part for me. That 37x improvement takes time. We're usually so focused on the goal, the big outcome. The sources say focus on the system, not the goal. How do you stick with it when your results, like my bank account or weight, are lagging behind my new habits?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's tough. Goals are about winning once. Systems are about staying in the game. And yeah, the source puts it bluntly. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
So my current situation, my weight, my finances, that's just a reflection of past habits, a lagging measure.
Exactly. Your net worth reflects your past financial habits. Your fitness reflects your past exercise and eating habits. The key isn't just the result now, it's the trajectory. Are you pointed in the right direction?
So even if I can only save, say, $10 a month right now because I'm broke, establishing that system of saving is the real win.
That's it. You're putting yourself on the right path. And to make that path sustainable, we need to look at the deepest level of change, identity.
Right. The sources talk about 3 layers. There's outcomes, what you get, processes, what you do, and identity, what you believe about yourself.
And most people start trying to change at the outcome level. I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to write a novel.
But the argument here is that real change, lasting change, has to start with identity.
Yes, it's about shifting who you believe you are. The goal isn't just to run a marathon. It's to become a runner. It's not to read a book. It's to become a reader.
It changes the motivation from something external, like finishing the race, to something internal, like being the kind of person who runs.
Exactly. And the vote analogy is really helpful here.
Yeah, I like that. Every small action you take is like casting a vote for the type of person you want to be.
Taking the stairs instead of the elevator,
Yeah.
that's a vote for being an active person. Writing one paragraph,
Yeah.
a vote for being a writer. Each action builds evidence for that new identity.
And that evidence then fuels you, right? Like the story about the guy who stopped biting his nails.
Brian Clark, yeah. He stopped through willpower at first, but the thing that made it stick was getting a manicure. Seeing his nails looking good gave him a sense of pride.
Ah, so the motivation changed. It wasn't about not biting anymore. It was about maintaining this new identity, someone with nice nails.
That's intrinsic motivation. It comes from within because it aligns with who you see yourself as.
Okay, so identity is the foundation. Now, how do we build the actual habits? This brings us to the mechanics, the habit loop.
Right, the neurological feedback loop. Cue, craving, response, reward.
Yeah.
It's the backbone of every habit.
And habits are basically the brain's shortcuts, aren't they? Automatic solutions for problems we face over and over.
You got it. Think about those early studies by Edward Thorndike with cats and puzzle boxes.
Yeah.
Initially, the cat flails around randomly, but eventually it hits the lever, the door opens, it gets food or freedom, the reward.
And after a few tries,
It goes straight for the lever. The brain automates the solution. Cue box, craving freedom, food, respond, press lever, reward, get out. This loop is the basis for the 4 laws of behavior change.
Law 1. Make it obvious. This targets the cue. And the point here is we're often blind to our own cues, right? We run on autopilot.
Totally underestimated. The example of the retail clerk is perfect, if a bit scary.
The one who cut the credit card?
Yeah. She was trained to cut up used gift cards. So, habit ingrained. Customer hands her their actual credit card. Brain sees cue, plastic card, triggers routine, swipe, pick up scissors, cut. Oops.
Wow. That shows how automatic it is. So the first step is just awareness.
Exactly. The habit scorecard exercise. Just write down your daily habits.
Yeah.
Make the unconscious conscious. What are the actual cues triggering your behaviors?
And once you're aware, you can be more intentional using things like implementation intention.
Right, being super specific. I will behavior at time and location. Like, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. It pre-decides for you.
Removes the ambiguity. And then there's habit stacking.
Which is brilliant. You link a new habit you want to form with one you already do. After I brush my teeth, I will floss 1 tooth. Or after I pour my morning coffee, I will do 10 push-ups.
The existing habit acts as the cue for the new one.
Precisely. And Law 1 also emphasizes designing your environment, making the cues for good habits obvious and bad habits invisible.
Like the hospital cafeteria study.
And Thorndike's work, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't lecture anyone, they just added bottled water to the refrigerators next to the cash registers, where before there was only soda.
Simple change in the choice architecture.
And soda sales dropped over 11%, just making the healthy choice more visible, more obvious.
And the flip side works too. Make bad habit cues invisible. Want to break a phone addiction? Maybe leave it in another room.
Or the example of the soldiers returning from Vietnam who were addicted to heroin. The relapse rate back home was surprisingly low. Why? Because the environmental cues, the people, the places associated with using were gone. Out of sight, out of mind, to some extent.
Okay, that makes sense. Make it obvious. What's Law 2?
Law 2. Make it attractive. This targets the craving part of the loop. Habits are driven by dopamine?
The pleasure chemical?
Well, sort of. The interesting thing is, dopamine spikes not just when you get the reward, but in anticipation of it. It's the wanting, the desire, that really drives the action, often more than the liking of the reward itself.
So we need to make the anticipation of the good habit more appealing.
Exactly. And one way is temptation bundling. You pair something you want to do with something you need to do.
Like the student who hacked his exercise bike.
Ronan Byrne, yeah.
Yeah.
An engineering student. He rigged his stationary bike so his laptop would only play Netflix if he was cycling at a certain speed.
Huh, that's brilliant. He bundled the want. watching Netflix with the need exercising.
Made the exercise bike the gateway to the thing he found attractive. Another huge factor for attractiveness is social norms. We imitate people.
Who do we imitate?
Three main groups, according to the source. The closers, our friends, family. The many, our culture, our tribe. And the powerful, those with status we admire.
So if your friends are all runners, running becomes more attractive. If it's normal in your culture, it feels right.
Absolutely. Look at the Polgar sisters, the chess prodigies.
Oh yeah, all three became grandmasters or top players, right?
Yeah, incredible story. Their parents deliberately created an environment totally immersed in chess. Practice wasn't a chore. It was the family norm, the culture. That made the intense effort attractive. It was just they did.
Okay, so make it obvious, make it attractive. What's law 3?
Law 3, make it easy.
Yeah.
This one's about the response itself, and it taps into a fundamental human tendency, the law of least effort,
We're basically lazy.
or efficient. Our brains are wired to conserve energy. We naturally drift towards the easiest option, and that's not necessarily bad. It's smart biology, so we need to leverage that.
Reduce the friction for good habits.
Exactly. Design your environment so the path of least resistance leads to the good choice.
Yeah.
Put the healthy snacks, like apples, on the counter, not hidden away. Lay out your gym clothes the night before.
Put the skillet on the stove the night before. If you want to cook a healthy breakfast, make the first step effortless.
And that leads to mastering the decisive moment, that tiny moment that sets the course for what follows.
Like Twyla Tharp, the choreographer.
Her ritual wasn't the workout itself. It was hailing the cab outside her apartment every morning to go to the gym. Once she did that one small thing, the rest followed. The habit is often just the entry point.
Okay, so how small should that entry point be?
That's the 2-minute rule. Scale down any new habit so it takes less than 2 minutes to do.
Less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Want to read more? Habit becomes read one page. Want to exercise? Habit becomes put on my running shoes or take out the yoga mat.
So the goal isn't do a 30-minute workout. It's just start the workout routine.
Exactly. You master showing up. Often, once you've overcome that initial friction, momentum carries you further. But the win is just starting.
Okay. Obvious, attractive, easy. We've covered the cue, craving response. What's the last piece? The reward.
Right. Law 4. Make it satisfying. This closes the habit loop and tells your brain, hey, that was good. Let's do it again.
And this is crucial because our brains often prefer immediate rewards over delayed ones, right?
Precisely. That's the core conflict. Exercise feels hard now. The health benefits come later. Junk food tastes good now. The negative effects come later. We're wired for instant gratification.
So for a habit with long-term benefits but maybe short-term effort, we need to inject some immediate satisfaction.
Yes. We need to find a way to make the reward feel immediate, even if the ultimate payoff is far off. Habit trackers are great for this.
Just checking off a box.
Yeah. That little check mark gives you an immediate visual cue of progress, a small hit of satisfaction. It's proof you cast that vote for your identity. Feels good now.
Okay, that makes sense. What about slipping up? Everyone misses a day eventually. How does that fit in?
The key here is the mantra. Never miss twice.
Never miss twice.
Missing once is an anomaly, it happens. Missing twice is the start of a new negative pattern. So if you skip your workout today, the absolute most important thing is to get back on track tomorrow, even if it's just the 2-minute version.
Don't let one slip become a slide.
Exactly. The satisfaction comes from maintaining the streak, or at least immediately recovering it. Consistency, even imperfect consistency, is deeply satisfying and reinforces the habit.
So we've got the compounding power of small wins, the need for systems over just goals, and the 4 laws. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. They all tie back to manipulating that cue, craving, response, reward loop.
Right, and it all serves that deeper goal of shifting your identity. Making it satisfying, for instance, provides the immediate reinforcement that confirms, yes, I am the type of person who does this.
But as we wrap up, there's maybe one more layer, isn't there? All these mechanics work, but what really drives the whole process?
Ultimately, it comes back to emotion, to desire. Making it easy is crucial, yes, because we follow the path of least resistance. But the initial impulse to change, the persistence through difficulty, that often comes from a deeper place.
From wanting something different, maybe even from suffering.
The sources suggest that, yeah. The desire to change your current state. Maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're ambitious, maybe you're unhappy. That feeling is often the engine. If your motivation, your desire is strong enough, you can push through significant friction.
It's not just logic, it's feeling.
Which brings us back to that powerful quote from Nietzsche.
He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how.
Exactly. If your why is strong enough, you'll figure out the how, even if it's not perfectly easy or attractive initially.
So the final thought for you, listening. Maybe it's not just about optimizing the mechanics of the habit, it's also about really connecting with and maybe cultivating that deeper why.
What identity are you trying to build? What feeling is driving you? Because if that desire is clear and strong, these atomic habits become the tools to make it real. What's the one small vote you can cast today?